Hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of Relationship Over Religion. So, I wanted to take care of some housekeeping right off the bat. The first week, I uploaded 4 episodes. Second week, it was 3 episodes. I'm gonna cut it down to 2. We'll have new episodes on Mondays. And I haven't decided if it's gonna be Wednesdays or Thursdays, but I do want to let you guys know that. I was really excited in the beginning and was just like gung ho, record, 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 upload, 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 but there's a lot that goes into this and I didn't realize at first. So I need to pace myself and I'm figuring this out as I go. So forgive me through this process. So day 10, we skipped 8 and 9 because those were left for catch up through the I Am challenge because it was hitting us hard, y'all. We needed time to adjust and sit with the feelings behind all these journal entries. I know I did, and a lot of the other people who were participating in it needed to too. So day 10 is observation. The mantra is I am listening. After being honest, in the last one, listening just makes sense, right? So it's the prompt is observe your thoughts like a tiny speck under a magnifying glass today. What reoccurring thoughts do you notice? Is there a theme in the way you speak to yourself? Consider the tone, words, and energy of your narration of your day, how you speak to yourself, and how you speak to yourself about the people and the experiences you have. How does it feel when you observe the content of your monkey mind? Journal on what comes up without judgment. Include which thoughts feel really good and which ones don't feel so good, including the in between. Notice how your core values shape and affect your thought processes. And I encourage all of you guys to do this challenge as well. It's so revealing. So, here I go. I am listening. I quoted something that I found in my devotional on this day, and forgive me for pronunciation, I'm not sure, but it's quoted by somebody, Ranero Mesa, and he said, "The more you are called to speak, the more you are called to listen." And that hit me hard that day. So I wrote it down before my journal entry. I am listening to you, Lola. I hear you and I see you. Lola is a nickname that my family gave me when I was young. It's what they always called me. I really didn't even answer to Sylvia because they called me that my whole life. Sidebar, I need to get this out. It's kind of tough because when my dad got remarried, I told you his wife's name was Lily, and her family happened to nickname her with the same nickname. So when my dad married her, he basically stopped calling me that and he started calling me Sylvia, and it hurt so much. I don't even think I've ever even had a conversation with him about it. It's tough to it took me a long time to process and get over it, and I probably still haven't, because even needing to take this sidebar out of the journal entry and say this shows me that it still hurts me in some way. So I'm listening. Okay, back to what I wrote. You weren't happy yesterday when no one was listening to you about the stairs. Oh, Culver City stairs. I went hiking with my husband Robert and my friend Zavi, and I didn't want to go up the stairs. So you weren't happy yesterday when no one was listening to you about the stairs, not going up them. And the sore throat after was you trying to get my attention. I'm sorry I didn't hear you at first, and I blamed it on the limiting belief of being a smoker. I shared that in, I think, episode 5 or 6. realizing it's very superficial now that I think about it. It was you. You were scared and no one cared. Or so you thought slash think. But they do care. I do care. We all care. I love you and I'm here for you. I see you. I see your pretty brown eyes and your cute nose and lips, your beautiful curls and cute little ears. I love you, Lola. You don't have to act out anymore to get attention. You have all my attention all the time. You have all of me. I am listening to you. I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to myself and my thoughts. I'm aware of negative thoughts when they come and I replace them with positive ones. God continues to renew my mind and I heal every part of me that the world broke. I am whole. I am loved. I am chosen. I am set aside. I am highly favored. I am a child of the Most High God. I am me. That's all I wrote. If I dig a little deeper and just go beyond me listening to the core of me, which is basically all my core values, little Sylvia, and all of that together creates this person that has this voice. The hurts, the pains, the love, the good stuff, the laughing. I love laughing. If anybody knows me, they know my laugh. And that's why I like to laugh so much. It's medicine. I feel like the Bible says it's good for our bones, you know. So, and it says that it's medicine. I'm listening to the people around me. I'm listening to God, really. All this work is to receive download after download and be guided in my life, because it says something like the prayers of a righteous man avail much. And I'm no one to call myself righteous, but I do my best. I do my best and I walk this walk. My talk matches my walk. And that's what this journey has been all about. And I'm finally listening to myself. I'm open. I'm honest. I'm going to be the same person. You're going to get the same answer. No matter what we're talking about, it's generally going to be the same. And like I said, this is a tough process. And being vulnerable and transparent is tough, just like anything else when we put ourselves out there. I think I talked about it in the first few days of this challenge, where I was fearful that nobody would care, nobody would listen. And the little feedback that I have gotten has been so nice and such a blessing. Little like messages of encouragement that keep me going and help me figure out this process. You know, last night we had a membership meeting and it was about holding space. And because I've learned to hold space for myself, it's expanded, and I've learned to hold space for other people. You know, I'm reminded of a prayer where a couple years ago I wanted to learn to trust God. And I would pray and ask for him to teach me to trust him. And through the process, it was actually, I think, through 2020. And through the process, I remember journaling. I'll have to find it and read it to you guys, but I remember it's the benefit of journaling and going and looking at what you wrote. I found that through that process of only asking to learn to trust and trusting God, I learned to trust myself. It was like a bonus in the process. And I can see how the two go hand in hand now, but hindsight's 2020. At the time, I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust the girl who made all the bad choices. I didn't trust the girl who was now and still let herself into situations of being manipulated by people and situations in a sober state of mind. You feel me? It was one thing before, but I don't know. So it's interesting, I wish every episode could be like happy and chipper and I'm cracking jokes or something like that, but I come in here open. I come in here ready to just pour out whatever has been poured into me. And I think today was just about trust, learning to trust myself and be okay with who I am thus far. Learning to appreciate all my experiences that I've been through has been a game changer. Sometimes I think about my time in jail, and I was there like a year and a half, 2 years altogether. And now when I look at it, I look at it as like preparation to this pandemic, to being home all the time. I'm ahead of the game. Honestly, that's how I felt. And not only that I was home 6 months before the pandemic even happened. I took disability at my job. I wasn't sleeping. And if I did sleep, I woke up in a cold sweat. It was like I was going through withdrawals and I wasn't taking anything. It was horrible. And it was real anxiety about, because we weren't getting paid. We were getting paid, but it was late. It was never on payday. It was really messed up, you guys. We went from a decent sized office in Culver City, outpatient, 5,000 square feet. I'm the program manager and we're running a show. We have like 60 to 80 clients and we're moving and shaking. We're bringing in money and everything's great. And then right around the Christmas break to New Year's break, we moved. We went from Culver City to Robertson. We went from on Washington to Robertson. And Robertson was like 5 times the size. It was 20,000 square feet. This place was designed for therapy, was designed for treatment. It had been a treatment center before, and we were taking over. So start brand new, January 2019, we're in this new office. We've doubled our staff. We've doubled our clients. Everything's great. And there seems to be some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding. I don't know what's going on with my boss and his partners, but we lose all our clients. Well, it was body brokering. I mean, they wanted more money for the clients. Bottom line, they wanted more money for the clients. My boss didn't pay it. But unbeknownst to me, that partner was helping a lot, and I didn't know. My boss didn't tell me. Unbeknownst to me, he paid for the furniture in this building. He paid our paychecks sometimes, so God works in mysterious ways. But after we moved into that new building, we didn't get paid on our regular paycheck anymore. It was always like a week later, 2 weeks later. And my job was to like rally the troops, keep everybody in line, keep everybody working. Even though we only had like 5 clients, we just had to keep moving like everything's okay. And he would tell me to. My boss would call me and he'd be like, "Is anybody next to you?" And I'd say no. And then, but of course they all were, they were all next to me trying to see what was going to happen. And he told me straight up that he didn't have the money to lay us all off. It was pretty messed up. It was really messed up. You know, I just couldn't take the responsibility. Well, I mean, I could take the responsibility. It was everybody else, and the whole situation, it went from like a great place to work to what had happened. I had built this team. I hired everybody personally. It was a staff of almost 25 people, nurses, therapists, technicians, and I really got to help other addicts. And it was a place where I got to, give my testimony all the time. I would low key be like, I'm praying in the name of Jesus. Is that okay? Because it's private pay and it's insurance. And I didn't want some kid's parent to call me or sue because I'm praying. And so it's like a fine line. It's a fine line. And I lost all that. I lost all that. My office ended up shutting down. He let everybody go. And Orange County, I don't know, I think the IRS took it over. I don't know, it's crazy. But so in that time so that was like June of 19. So I'm on disability for 6 months, trying to figure out my next move. But I had to really take a look at my mental health. And that's really what I did in that time, because listening to my body, I would get anxiety driving, and I grew up driving around here. Like, I love to drive, and not being able to drive showed me something was wrong with me. And so I took the time to slow down, get my mind right, get my heart right. And just as I was about to start getting back into the game and looking for work and everything, COVID hit. So it was like, oh, man, everybody was complaining about being home, and they would compare being home in the pandemic to a jail cell. And I know it's my perspective, but sometimes it would just rub me the wrong way, because it was always somebody who never knew what a jail cell was like. And it's so absent-minded, really, because having experienced a jail cell and having experienced a pandemic in my own apartment, this is still a palace compared to a jail cell. You don't get to pick the food in a jail cell. You don't get to pick when you take a shower in a jail cell. They tell you when. So I had to get over that in my own way, because I couldn't transfer my experience to other people. Just had to be open and be compassionate for everybody's situation. And if that's what they were experiencing, or that's what you experienced, then, I mean, I challenge you to broaden your horizons and be thankful, because not to say that somebody has it worse, but yeah, basically somebody has it worse. And we have so much to be grateful for just by being in America. And my husband says it to me all the time, first world problems. I'm grateful for them now, and I see them now, but in other places, people are struggling to eat. People are struggling for shelter. People are struggling for the things that we have programs for that go unnoticed for so long. There's so many programs that help. There's, the county helps with food, with housing. They're trying to get homeless people off the street. There's so many different things here that in other places they don't have. So, all that to say, I feel like it prepared me. And I've learned to take every situation that I've been through, and now present time, it's taught me to see the positive in things, because I learned how to be grateful in those situations. Doing it now, it's like it's cake. It comes so natural. So it's tough in the beginning to condition our mind, but after a while, it becomes second nature. Kind of like the whole wax on, wax off theory. When we teach our mind to be grateful and see the positive, over time, it'll be more natural and it becomes second nature. And that's the type of simple things that I've done in my life to change who I am and the way I think. Every morning I wake up, I get a cup of coffee. It's like automatic. I go to my Keurig machine and I get my phone and I go to my Bible app. My phone is on Do Not Disturb, but I go to my Bible app and I spend time in prayer. I spend time reading the word, and I do that every day. In the beginning, it was really hard. I mean, I'm 8 years in doing this. I've done it since I started in jail. I started then, and I remember days would go by because I would go to work and I'd forget and I would have to catch up and I would just skip some, and I had to learn to give myself mercy. I had to learn to give myself grace that I was learning a new habit, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. Now I'm consistent. Now I'm consistent without a second thought. I lost my streak. Ooh, I lost my streak in the Bible app because one day I didn't open it. And I had like almost 800 days, y'all. I was so juiced because of it. I missed it. Now I'm at like 40 days or something. I had to start over, but I'm gonna get that streak again because it's good, and it's how it's actual like evidence of proof of me investing in my relationship with God and investing in my spiritual bank account. 2020 taught me how to invest my money, and the past 7 years, I've been learning to invest in my spiritual bank account. So now I got two kinds of investments. I got my spiritual bank account and I got my regular bank account. So we gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. There's a spiritual war going on, and that's a whole nother episode that I can save for another time, because the armor of God has gotten me through a lot. And I will save that for another episode. And, thanks for listening. I think this was a short one, kind of all over the place, but we'll see how you guys like it. Remember to like and share, and I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.